Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with a design team project for Rubber Stamp Tapestry. Now, if you've seen any of my videos before, I am absolutely in love with these peg stamps. I have worked with them for some time, and I just think they are so versatile that we only see the peg and we don't see this true potential that these stamps have. So, of course, we're coming up to Valentine's Day. These are perfect for that. So I chose one of the sets called Tapestry Hearts. So we've got a big heart going on there. We've got a little flower. We've got some vines and we've got some twigs. I just love the look of that heart as I'm dancing that around. Remember, the peg stamps have a registry line. Get used to that registry line. Know what it's pointing to. Know how that stamp is going to sit so that while I was dancing that around, you know how it's going to be positioned. Now, out of habit, whenever I work with my peg stamps, which I think is really funny, I always pull out my Memento dewdrops. So you can see them there. Those are the colors that we're going to use. I've taken my panel and I used a stitched rectangle die from my stash. I'm drawing a very faint pencil line of a heart. Guys, this doesn't have to be perfect. We don't need to use, if we have a heart die, cut that out and use that as a stencil. Freehand it. It's a homemade card. Handmade. Let it go. Remember, that's our motto. So you can see mine's crooked. I'm good with it. First color up, is Angel Pink. So I'm just going to stamp this, again, knowing where the registry line is on the peg, which is at the base of this heart. I know by just turning it, I know how that's going to look when it's positioned. That's the beauty of these. So by me drawing that heart, I want to create a wreath, but in a heart shape. I think that makes sense. I don't know. Sometimes I gab and I confuse myself. Okay. So that's the first round. Now the next round I'm going to use Rosebud. Now this is a little bit darker. So I always stamp out your images first. See what they look like. Sometimes and usually I forget to do that. This time I didn't. I was pretty impressed with myself. You might like the second generation. And in this case, I did. I thought stamping the first generation, I would have lost my Angel Pink, which is a very pale pink in the Memento. I would have lost them. So I want to go with the second generation of Rosebud, which is not a problem. Keeps it soft, keeps it faint. So it's almost like a uniform look. It doesn't look like an outline of a heart. Now, I always do keep baby wipes near me when it comes to these peg stamps. It's the best way to clean them. And I just real quick wipe them off on there. So again, I'm pointing to that registry. You can tell that registry line is at the base, at the bottom of that vine. So I'm going to keep turning this, and the color that I'm using here is bamboo leaves. Now, the first time I'm stamping this, I'm going to use the first generation. I'm going to go directly from the ink pad down to the paper. I'm then going to come in with the second generation. Again, if you don't have many stamp pads or ink pads, let's say, even if you have 6 colors, you technically you have the possibility of 18 colors. You have your first generation stamp or ink pad to paper. You have a second generation, which is ink pad to paper or scrap paper to your design. And then you also have a third generation where you can go from ink pad, stamp twice onto your scratch pad, and then go on to your design panel. So you can get 3 shades from one ink pad. Keep that in mind. If you're limited, it doesn't mean you still can't get different colors. So you can see I have the 2 different shades of green just by using the one color. I then came in with the twig, and I'm using rich cocoa for that. And I'm just putting those in sporadically. I wanted the bright colors to come through. Now this color is Teal Zeal. I absolutely love this color, but it's very bold. So I wanted to keep it just a little bit lighter. So I am going to use the second generation. Now, if I wanted to add some shading to that flower, I still would have gone to the ink pad, to my scratch paper, and then curved it on its edge just to get it a little bit on the edge of the stamp. Again, same ink pad, a different look. So have fun with your ink pads. They can do a lot. Just like here, I'm using the Angel Pink just to go around the edge. Nope, not Vintage Photo for my followers there. No, 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 no. We're going to use the pink. Funny. I know you're all thinking that. So I'm just going to go around the edge. Now, know with these dewdrops, they do have refills or re-inkers for them, but they also come in great sets of 12, so you can get 12 colors when it comes to those. Pulled out some fun foam, and I'm going to use my 2-inch film tape. I just cut a piece down for the back. This 2-inch film tape is what I use to adhere my fun foam to the back of my design panels. It's the only thing that I use. I find it's best, yet it's unforgiving because it is strong. I know it's not going anywhere, but I do get that from Uline. It is a little pricey, but I've had that 2-inch roll forever. I think there's 60 yards on it. So it does last for a long time. It's just my preference. So there's our heart. I think it looks really nice. It kind of trails down. So I did pull a sentiment die from my stash that simply says love. I cut out a piece of vellum and a piece of a dark pink cardstock for the base or the shadow. I forget what we call that. I'm going to call it the base. I'm going to call it the base shadow. There you go. And then I used a heavy white cardstock for the top portion. Now, I'm going to layer this first. I know everyone's saying, Des, you're doing this backwards. I know, because that's what I do. So what I'm actually doing is I wanted to place as it continues to stick to my finger here, place the white on the vellum so that I knew where that was going to go. Now, I should have put all of the white layers together first, then put it down on the vellum. Yeah, I didn't think that far. So I'm going to kind of do it a little backwards here, which is fine. So this last layer, because I did it differently, I can't pinch it on the ends because of the vellum there. It doesn't mean you can't get this straight. Use your tweezers. If I come in on the side of each of those pieces on top of the vellum, it's going to snap them right on top of each other. Again, I use liquid glue. It gives me time for movement. So I'm going to do that all down. So you can see I take my tweezers, I separate them, and I just wrap them around the edge, and it snaps it all in line. So yes, I did it backwards, but there's still a way to do it. So now that I have that set, now I can use, because I did want the vellum in the back. Now I know where I can place my glue so that it's not seen on or through the vellum. Now, of course, there is a mistake that I make, and it's right there at the base of that O. I put a little bit too big of a glue dot on there, so it does come through, and plus I slid this down. So because I wanted to have that shading from the pink, because it actually slid when I put it on there, and I really liked it. So happy accident there, but I like that 3-layer look that I'm getting. And I know I'm seeing that glue dot within the O. We're going to be able to cover that, absolutely. Or, again, let it go. It's okay. It's just a spot. It's all right. I'm going to add my glue to the back, and I'm going to set that right in the center of the heart that we stamped. Again, I really like to keep the design from the peg stamps to the forefront because I just think they're extremely different. And I think a lot of people think small, that's all you can do with them. This filled up the entire panel. So, and that's a 4 by 5 1/4 panel. So now we're going to add some jewels. These are the Studio Katya, and these are pink. And I like the different colors that they have in there. I'm finding I'm really liking the jewels So I keep digging around for more. So that's what we did. See, we put a jewel inside the O. Covered that right up. Anyway, I want to put a jewel inside each where the hearts swirl, and just to accent that. And then we're going to set some jewels outside of it, because you cannot have too many jewels on a Valentine's Day card. Yeah, between when I start applying sequins and jewels and gems, it kind of gets carried away. I just love putting them on the card. It makes it pretty. What I'm using to pick up the gems or the jewels, whatever you want to call them, is a wax pencil. I think they work just fine. Vicky, I'm just going to say Vicky P, because I cannot pronounce her last name, as always. She actually introduced that to me. I saw her using one of them, and I think they're just fine. So I'll probably never have to buy another one. They come in boxes of 10, and I get them from Amazon. So that is, and remember, I put the jewels in the triangle containers first. Yes, yeah, I learned. So that is our card. So as always, we have some close-ups here. I do hope you enjoyed this. I do hope you'll go check out Rubber Stamp Tapestry. They do have other stamps as well. They also do sell the Memento dewdrops individually. So that is a location where you can get them. A lot of places sell them in the 12 packs. All the products that I used will be linked down below if you want to check them out, with links to click on. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below as well, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope everyone's having a great day. I don't know if anyone else is affected by the cold snap, but if I have a wonderful reason for you to stay inside and stay warm, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. If you're interested in other videos that I did using Rubber Stamp Tapestry products, they are shown right there. Check them out. I think you will enjoy them. I hope everyone's having a great day, and always remember what's most important. Always be creative.